This is Daniel Posney, and this is Shifting Perspectives. And today we're going to talk about migraines. And a good thing I don't get those very often. In fact, I think it's been years since I had a migraine. But man, when I've had a migraine, it's so debilitating. If you're watching this video, you probably had migraines before, maybe much worse than I've had them. But even just having one migraine, I really felt like if I could just remove my head, it would make things better. And it was that painful. It just, oh, it's amazing how much pain you have to endure with something like that. And it would be there for hours, and then for me it would be gone. And luckily I didn't have them weekly, but I've talked to people that have had migraines for years, or they get them every week or sometimes every day. It's insanity. That would just drive me just completely insane to have that kind of pain. But people are resilient and strong, and they move through it. But what I want to talk about is resolving the metaphysical reason for that migraine. And apparently there's medications you can take for that, but wouldn't it be great to actually solve the problem and not just work on the symptom? So there's a physiological thing going on that causes the migraine to happen, but there's also some kind of emotional, metaphysical reason why this is happening. And this is what I've come up with. So first of all, it's a lot of pressure, and you can think about when the words that I use really fits with the migraine. There's pressure in the migraine, but there's also pressure in your life. There's pressure for you to take on additional responsibilities that really aren't yours to take on. You're taking on problems that aren't yours to solve, but there's this outer thing where you just want to help people, and you have this service attitude, and you just want to help people. But look at why you're doing that and what that's doing to you. That's causing you a lot of stress, a lot of overwhelm. But there's this thing about you're getting something from it. So stick with me. And I know this may be triggering for the people that really think of themselves as a really nice person, and yet they get these migraines. So if there's this resistance to being driven, if there's this resentment, so you got to always help these people. Why can't these people figure this out? I can't believe what an idiot this person is. I got to go do this for them. Oh, this is my job. That kind of thing. That's what drives this pressure inside of you. And it's this ongoing story that your mind is giving you, that you are responsible for everyone else's fixing whenever. Also, there's a little piece in there about sexual fears. If you have any sexual fears, it's also related to migraines. Heavily about boundaries. That if you think about the migraine, there's this lack of blood flow going on in your body, and buildup of pressure. And it has something to do with boundaries in your body, but also boundaries in the metaphysical and in your emotional. So someone that's always going outside and helping everybody and taking on responsibility and talking about these problems with other people, and all that kind of stuff. There's boundaries that are being crossed, and when you cross boundaries into someone else's sovereignty, you also don't know how to protect your own boundaries with saying yes when you mean to say yes and saying no when you mean to say no. So what usually happens with someone like this is they're saying yes to so many different things and don't know how to say no. And if you really look into that, the reason why you don't say no is because, oh my gosh, if you ever said no, then someone wouldn't love you, wouldn't think highly of you, wouldn't think that you could be counted on the next time. And you're not going to be that person that they name your name and say, well, Daniel, he really helped me out. you know, and you kind of go, well, it was nothing. But, that stuff feels good to the ego and to the psyche. But after a while, you just kind of count on that, and it gets to be very overwhelming. So if you're the person that feels like you need to save and rescue and help other people, that's kind of the summary of that part. That builds up into anger and bitterness and resentment and that kind of thing. It just There's no relief for that, and it's just this built up of pressure. If you're the kind of person that is irritated by everything and everyone, that's kind of what I was kind of trying to put across, is that that kind of person is just irritated with people. I can't believe they can't get their shit together. That's the kind of person that has a buildup of frustration and resentment and overwhelm inside of them, because everything affects you, and you talk about everything. You talk about it with other people, and it just builds up. If you have stress to perform and please others, that's what we're talking about. There's a benefit here with the migraine. So with any illness, cold, flu, migraine, any of those things, there's a benefit that you get from that. Even multiple sclerosis, you're needed to be taken care of. You need to shut down. You need to say, I would help you, but I've got this migraine, so I just can't do anything right now. And what a blessing. Then you like inside is going, oh, I got out of that one. Same thing with a cold or flu. Usually those things are about being overwhelmed, and having a cold or flu allows you to completely shut down and help yourself, work on yourself, take some rest. But with a person that's kind of addicted to this, they'll get halfway done with their migraine or their cold or flu, and they'll say, okay, I'll push through. And that just kind of creates more of that. So, here are some reliefs and solutions for this. If you don't want to stick with medications that you could be on for the rest of your life, or that could have some symptoms of that medication that might be detrimental. So this is a relief, and it's for if you're in the moment and you've got a migraine and you're looking for something right now. It all depends on the situation and where you're at, if you're at home or in the car or something, because one of the reliefs for this is masturbation, and not just masturbation, but orgasm. So there's a relief in the pressure that's built up in you, and it may not, be the right time if your migraine is so crazy that you can't even get into masturbation and can't get to an orgasm, then that's not going to work for you. But that is one of the solutions, that there's this complete relief and let go in the orgasm. The other one is lavender essential oil, that really helps out headaches, and I would try that too. And then the other one is caffeinated coffee, and that is supposed to uh, thin your blood and cause more flow in your body, so your blood starts flowing more because it's got caffeine in it, and maybe that would help. If it was me, I would try all three because it's like you would try anything to just get rid of that migraine. If you could knock yourself out, man, I was always, if I could just somehow someone just hit me so hard and knock myself out. I'm not proposing that, but that's how desperate you can get. But the real solution to this is to solve the problem at the cause and not just the symptom. So what I'm just talking about there is the symptom, but the cause is deal with people loving you or hating you. So whether someone thinks you're the greatest supportive, giving angel, or the worst asshole that doesn't give a rip about anybody, or about this person. So you got to let all that stuff go. How anyone builds you up or how anyone tears you down. And I remember being really intensely in that no matter what someone said about me, good or bad, I said, basically, thank you for your opinion, or, I appreciate your opinion. But don't let yourself get so built up about what people think good about you, and don't let them tear you down because they think that you're the worst thing. Everybody has to deal with their own reactions. And I've heard it said that someone's opinion about you is a dream that they are having about you. So it's all kind of in their own perception. I hope that helps kind of take away the sting of someone thinking bad about you, if you don't go out there and rescue them and help them and be that person that went the extra mile, to go help them. And, don't get me wrong, that's a very valiant, beautiful thing to serve. But when it starts being detrimental to you, you got to start, kind of balancing that out. Um, The other thing is letting go of controlling or trying to control people's reactions or opinions of you. So that comes in like someone says something and you just want to agree with them, but you don't really agree with them. So you say all these things in a roundabout way so that you're not quite agreeing with them, but you're also introducing this other thing. And you're just not clear with it. You've got an opinion that's completely opposite of their opinion because you're worried about losing this friend or having them be angry at you or losing something from this person. So you can't go through life. I've tried it. You can't go through life and just try and always ease the reaction of people. Just make sure that everybody's just calm and everybody doesn't have a reaction with anyone, especially not you. So you can have this like go between mentality where you're always trying to soften things with everybody and like you're the referee kind of thing. Let go of that. And the more that you do that, the more that you allow yourself to be authentic and be real. And the problem with the person that is the people pleaser and always the doing for other people, there's a bunch of things that are wrong with that they're not beneficial. You don't let someone fix their own problems. So it's a very disempowering thing sometimes for someone to always fix your problems. The other thing that can happen is that as someone sees this other person, like you, maybe, or like me, as always the do-gooder and taking on everybody's responsibilities, there's people that see that on the outside and they start to believe that they're not doing enough because of your actions. So you're having these other people. I know that's their own work, but there's a wake that you're creating that is detrimental, not beneficial to other people. You built yourself up into this great person, and then you're kind of setting the bar so that other people feel like they need to do the same thing. And if you have kids, think about what you're doing for your kids. If you want to send them a message of being a good person and giving and all that, that's fine. But if you're experiencing negative um, symptoms from that, then you don't want your kids to kind of copy exactly what you're doing. So just kind of have a time. It's a time to kind of get honest with yourself and really look inside. Why am I doing this? Am I getting something from this? And what is it creating? And all this doing, is it making me overwhelmed? And is this the reason why I'm getting migraines? And could I live a joyful life and happiness and pulling myself back and really not having that affect me so deeply what people think about me? And I don't mean to kind of say, well, I don't give a shit about what that person thinks. I'm talking about just pulling back with softness and balance instead of being hard and saying, well, I don't care what people, I'm just not going to do that for anyone anymore. I don't get any appreciation. That's just becoming hard, and that's not really solving the problem. The problem is that you're getting something from being this way, and you're getting detrimental or not beneficial physiological effects. So, time to go, you know what? I think I should just pull back a little bit with love and still be a giving, loving person that's concerned about other people. But first, I need to be concerned about myself and pull back some. And if people don't understand that, and if I get a reaction from someone, that's not really my responsibility. So you say it in kind of that tone. It's not really my responsibility, and you know, they'll let them deal with that, and I'll deal with my own stuff. So one more thing that I want to give you. So this is the Louise Hay book, and she has an affirmation here about migraines. So she says similar thing: dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life, and sexual fears. Uh, the affirmation is: I relax into the flow of life and let life provide all that I need easily and comfortably. Life is for me. I'll read that one more time. I relax into the flow of life and let life provide all that I need easily and comfortably. Life is for me. That's it. Thank you for watching, listening. Bless you. Thank you.